You're listening to Cheers Podcast, brought to you by Snoo Snack, the all-natural sleep remedy. Snoo Snacks are made with all-natural ingredients to help you get the best night's sleep the all-natural way. For more information, go to www.snoosnack.com. This week's guest is Matt Neely. Matt is a media personality, sports enthusiast, and Titans mega fan. This is Cheers Podcast.
I want to welcome on my guest this week, Mr. Matt Neely. Cheers, man. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers. Nothing like some breakfast beers at 10 a.m. after a night of drinking.
Yeah, I know our listeners, watchers can't tell right now, but it's 10 a.m. here in Murfreesboro. We had to squeeze in an early meeting, so I appreciate Matt coming out. But we're going to be talking sports today, mainly football, anything else that we want to talk about. But I do want to talk a lot of Titans football because I know my guy Matt Neely is a big Titans fan. Please show the fans your infamous 69 Titans jersey.
Nice.
What does it say on the back?
Nice.
It just says nice.
Yeah. You haven't seen it?
No, that's hilarious. Okay, and I just have my plain fan Marcus Mariota jersey. But do you plan on getting a 69 jersey in the new jerseys?
I do. It's not going to say nice on the back. It's just going to say John Robinson.
What? It's just going to say both of his names?
Yep.
So
that's going to be the full name.
That's hilarious. What's you going to do? Color rush, navy, or white?
I'm going to go with the whites. I think those are the best ones.
I think so too. It really shows the sword on the side, which is cool. And this is something you said last night. We met up last night, talked a little bit, got prepared for the podcast, and you mentioned that cool tip about why the digits have the wing on top of them. That was cool. If you'll talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, they said it's because it's the tip of Tennessee, and I think that's like a huge stretch, though, right? Like it's a nod to Greek and the tip of Tennessee.
Yeah.
But it kind of ruins the fonts, honestly. And the numbers are fine if they don't have that little flare on it and they're not so skinny. Like, I think that was the biggest stretch they tried. But overall, like I think that those came out pretty good.
Yeah. I was looking at it this morning, the digits, and after you said that Tennessee thing, like every digit I see the top of Tennessee in it now. So
once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
You can't unsee it. So all right, so let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk to you about as far as football goes, I want to talk a little bit about, I love when people do way too early predictions. Oh, yeah. And so let's do a way too early division winner prediction. And if you want to go through each division, I think that'd be really cool, starting with the AFC.
Well, honestly, I hate those early team predictions, so this will be fun. I mean, my man Mitch just got it. He guaranteed an AFC South championship. Yep. I actually think the Texans are the best team in that division.
Okay.
I think the Jaguars would be if they had a competent quarterback, but they do not.
Yes.
So it's not like the Titans are just expected to win this. Deshaun Watson puts the fear of God in everybody, I think.
Yeah, he's good.
And he's going to be pissed off because they had a chance to do something special last year, and I think that freak injury really derailed everything. But it was good for us, honestly. Mm-hmm. AFC East, always the Patriots. If you ever pick against the Patriots, you're a moron. AFC North, I think the Steelers are going to be able to compete again. The NFC, let's see. What am I forgetting? AFC West. Chiefs are going to be terrible.
You think so?
I do think so. Broncos are going to be terrible.
With Patrick Mahomes?
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be really good, but the Chiefs, the moves they've made, I just don't understand.
Okay.
I really don't understand any of that.
That's fair.
Broncos in the AFC West are also going to be really, really bad.
They get Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And they got that linebacker from the Panthers.
They did, but yeah. I don't see it. I just don't see it happen. Yeah. I think John Elway is kind of a clueless GM. And I mean, how many times can you pick a quarterback and he beat the wrong quarterback? Mm-hmm. And he misspoke when he called Case Keenum's name out in the press conference.
What did he say?
Like Case Keenum or something like that?
Doesn't even know who he's getting?
I don't know. I don't think he knows where he's at half the time.
He hit on Peyton Manning, and that was it.
Right, and let's see. NFC East, Eagles, they're going to be mean. That defensive line is sick. Yeah. It's stacked. Even if Michael Bennett's not going to play, if he is going to play, we don't know if he pushed that old person in the wheelchair, but he probably did.
Oh, my God.
He probably did. Let's see. NFC North. Vikings are going to be good, but I think the Packers are always the team to beat. I would take them in the NFC every year just because Aaron Rodgers is that good.
Yeah.
NFC West, 49ers, I believe, are going to be the team. And I think I'm forgetting one more, NFC South.
Yep.
And so that division changes every year. So last year the Saints won it. The year before it was the Falcons. The year before that was the Panthers. So I think I'll just take the Bucks here if we get this rotation going.
We could stay with that rotation. You know, speaking of the Bucks, I saw a ranking after the Titans released their jerseys that somebody, I don't know who it was, said that the Bucks had the worst uniforms in the NFL.
They do.
I kind of like their jerseys.
Their numbers look like alarm clocks.
I guess I'm just into weird numbers because I like the new Titans numbers. I like their numbers. I definitely want like anything the Jags do with their uniforms. So hopefully they do something that's not like the Titans.
I hope they look terrible. I hope the Jaguars uniforms look awful.
They probably will. And I heard they're getting rid of the two-tone helmet. So,
well, I mean, that's a shame because they looked really terrible.
We need them to keep looking just super bad. Okay. So, another thing I put in there, but this is kind of the same question about how OddsShark ranked Titans the least likely to win the AFC South. Do you agree, disagree? I know you said Texans most likely, which I can almost agree with that, but
I mean, every team in that division is going to be good except for the Colts. So, I think that also these bookmakers, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to see that Titans bet and take it. And I mean, I think it's fair to assume that we're the third best team based on the Jaguars' talent, based on the Texans' talent. But I don't think it's. I think them having us the same as the Colts. That's what I don't understand about that. Kind of like a troll from the guys from Vegas. But
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on the draft. Like if the Colts just traded back out of the third pick, if they end up with Bradley Chubb still and they get that haul of assets, then they could be a lot better than I think they're going to be. The Jags surprisingly aren't picking in the top 3, which is stunning.
Yes. Very stunning to watch that.
It just depends on who the Titans draft. And if that's accurate, then I think it's still early to see what the whole team's going to look like. But I don't know how accurate it's going to be.
Yeah, and you made a good point about you don't think the Colts are going to be any good. And I keep hearing a lot of like analysts talk about if Andrew Luck comes back, big if, that they can be a good team. But I don't know what he's really coming back to. Is there anything that you see in that roster that even he can work with? I know Andrew Luck is great. He hasn't thrown in how long?
I don't even know where Andrew Luck is. I heard he was back in Europe. Yeah, healing his mystery injury, and
Yeah.
He's like the biggest mystery case in the NFL.
It's super weird.
And they don't really ever talk about it. Andrew Luck doesn't get talked about that often anymore. And the last photo of him, he looked pretty skinny. He really
I heard
did.
about that. Yeah. I haven't seen that myself, but I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to come back to there right now. And they've got a lot of building to do. Chris Ballard has a massive job in front of him. And the Josh McDaniels thing, that's terrible.
What's your take on that? How did that even happen, and why? Do you even know or care?
I mean, I believe that I don't think he wants to leave and go be a coach and be a head coach.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome how it happened at the Colts, since I hate the Colts.
Because it almost happened to us.
Well, when
Yeah.
I mean, it really it was beautiful to watch as a Titans fan, but I did honestly. You got to feel kind of bad for everybody because the social media person who's actually a really good person tweeted out that they got the coach, and then he spurned them and stayed with the Patriots. I probably wouldn't leave the Patriots either. That's a cush job. As long as Tom Brady's there, I would stay.
Yeah, but how much longer will Tom Brady be there?
I honestly wouldn't bet against him being there for another 2 decades.
20
He's
more
timeless.
years?
Tom Brady's timeless.
How old would he be? 60?
He'd be 69 years old. And
69 years old. He should retire then. Yes.
I think, yeah, exactly. That's what he's trying. He's trying to do it for Gronk.
Nice.
He's trying to do it for Gronk.
Yeah. What are there any actual NFL players who wear the jersey 69?
I know Zach Pillar used to for the Titans.
Okay.
Classic. I don't really follow that number around. It just,
I think you should.
I think I probably should.
Get one of
so
every.
I could be more prepared for these type of questions.
Yeah. I thought you really saw this one coming. My bad. So, are the Titans basically just collecting Heisman Trophy winners through the draft?
Yes, yes. We're collecting Heisman Trophy winners and Patriots players, and I'm okay with both two types of winners, and we'll just find out which one works better in the NFL.
Yeah, jeez.
I love the backfield. I love the Heisman. I mean, I don't think there's any other team that has that, right?
I think the last team that had the last great team that had a running back, quarterback, Heisman was the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, their quarterback, it was like back in the 90s or so, 80s. I could remember their names any other time.
See, so it's rare.
Yeah, it is very rare, but they were really good. I think that team won a Super Bowl, so we deserve one too.
Yep.
But yeah, I just made that observation and thought that was funny. I feel like we're collecting Heismans. So let's see here. Marcus Mariota. So obviously, I feel like he's adored by Nashville. Everybody likes the guy a lot. He did have a down season this last year. You can attribute that to the bad injury at the end of the year, which killed my confidence in everything for months on end.
Yep.
He didn't get an off season with, like Corey Davis, all these guys. Now they're all working together. But do you think that Marcus Mariota is a caliber quarterback that can bring us a Super Bowl? Because obviously that's the whole goal here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
You think he can bring us a Super Bowl?
That's an easy answer. Yes,
Okay.
he is very much everything you look for in a franchise player, in a quarterback, in a leader. He checks every single box. He doesn't even drink. He drives his drunk teammates around. Like
Doesn't have social media.
He's a superstar. He's a one-of-a-kind personality, name, everything. And he fits right in. Like, even when we drafted him, I think there was questions like, can this translate? And I think he's a revolutionary type of player. You saw there was a 96-yard touchdown run.
Mm-hmm.
How many other
Against
quarterbacks?
the Jags?
Yep. How many other quarterbacks can do that?
Nobody.
Nobody.
That was the longest run from scrimmage that season, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And you just look at everything he does, and he continues to impress, and he just continues to be Marcus. And so that's why he is kind of like the savior. When the moment he got here, things changed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the first piece in that puzzle that basically has come together now, and now we have expectations. And if we didn't have Marcus, you saw what the team looked like last year. It was really bad, really bad.
When we played the Dolphins without Marcus.
Yep, and that cost us, in the long run. But there's not much else I can say, man. The guy is savior.
Do you think the Titans would be further along or further behind if we had taken Jameis Winston? Sorry, if they had taken Mariota and we had gotten Jameis Winston.
Well, actually, it's funny you said that because John Robinson was there. He was working for the Bucs, and they took Jameis Winston.
That's kind of funny. Now he got his second pick quarterback.
Right.
And is better. I think we're much better than him.
And Robinson hasn't made a lot of mistakes, but I don't think he had the final call on that. And I think if we drafted Jameis Winston, we'd be way worse off.
You think so?
Honestly, with Malarkey, I think any quarterback would have struggled. But Marcus is so much more special than Jameis is. And you see, I hate Jameis Winston, honestly. I hate his personality. I think he's phony. And the Eat the W thing, did you see that when he did? This is what he went and said. He put his fingers up like this, like a W. And then he started eating them in the huddle.
Oh, the huddle. That hype thing. That was ridiculous.
Yes,
yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It didn't make any sense.
And I just like, thank God that's not my quarterback. Now, he's talented, and I think that he's going to be pretty good, but I think Marcus was clearly the right choice there. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, I know they didn't really have the choice, but that was, looking back at, he's clearly better now.
Yeah, and I asked that because this morning they ranked, I think, the past 5 years quarterbacks taken in the draft, and they ranked Jameis Winston above Marcus Mariota, one slot above.
Good.
Carson Wentz, number one, I agree with. I think he's pretty good quarterback. I hate that he tore his ACL. I'd like watching him play. I think he's a respectable guy, and I like that team too. But they ranked Jameis Winston above Marcus Mariota, which I don't agree with. So I felt like you would have the same opinion.
I mean,
so,
I hope he sees it. I hope Marcus sees that.
I
hope they keep comparing. Like, I cannot believe people put Jameis ahead of Marcus. I know Marcus did have like kind of a down year last year, but Jameis' team was terrible. And if we didn't have Marcus, our team would have been awful as well. Like, when it comes down to which player has a bigger impact, it's Marcus. And Jameis' play can be awful, and Marcus doesn't make really dumb mistakes. Like, I think Jameis threw it from his back. He threw a pick from his back in the red zone, and Marcus is 40-0 in the red zone.
Yes,
the man is just so much more focused and so much more careful. But yeah, go ahead. I hope Marcus sees that and it really pisses him off.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I don't know if he looks at anything online or anything like that. I know he doesn't have any social medias, but he definitely has a fire. I don't know if you remember the Jags game when he stiff-armed Barry Church into the earth and got that first down and basically secured that game and got up and, like, I don't even think he said anything to him. He just kind of like looked at him. Yeah, he just kind of looked at him. There's that like awesome meme of Derrick Henry just like watching it go down. I love that picture. But so he definitely has a fire, and yeah, I hope he reads that too, so we can kind of bring that fire out there. So do you think watching these receivers get together, practice, do those different things, do you think that you're going to see a lot of improvement out of Corey Davis this year, now having like a group and a quarterback who's healthy?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to see them already getting together and training. I think Corey Davis will definitely be improved this year. You saw when Marcus was calling the plays in the playoffs after Malarkey and Robisky tried to derail that Kansas City game.
Yes.
You saw what Corey Davis can do. He was targeted in the end zone like 4 times in those 2 games, and he almost caught the game-winning touchdown against the Chiefs. Marcus did overthrow that ball. It was really early on that. But then you saw the one-handed catch, 2 touchdowns against the Patriots in Foxborough in a playoff
Mm-hmm.
game. I mean, he's got stud written all over him, and I think the new coaching staff will clearly be like, oh, we should use this guy and not run him a route that's running into 3 other different people's routes. And he's got superstar written all over him. He just needs a better system to be involved in. I think that's what we're going to have this year.
I think he's going to be a talent that we haven't seen, the kind of talent where you can throw in his area and he'll make the play for you,
Absolutely.
which you don't even need for Marcus Mariota. But to give him that weapon and then give him, underneath slot different things like Taywan Taylor, these fast players with sure hands, Rashard Matthews, who was just a sure, Delaney Walker, and then you have this like deep threat opportunity you can throw up to with Corey Davis, I think is a big deal for Tennessee.
His catch rate is ridiculous.
Yeah. Didn't he have the most touchdowns in NCAA history coming out of college? More than Randy Moss? 52, I think.
I think so. I mean,
something crazy.
He was so insane in college.
Yeah.
And that game against Wisconsin, I think it was the Cotton Bowl. I mean, he was ridiculous.
He played MTSU, and
Kevin
Byard played each other.
He did play. I remember the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah.
I called my dad. I was like, man, we really should go to this Popeyes Bahamas Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, we're not going down there. But I remember that. I tried to get a trip to the Bahamas. Didn't work. Kevin Byard got kind of burnt in that game. And it wasn't really his fault. But
Corey Davis, I think, is just that good.
He's so good. He is so good. And he's only going to get better. And I think people are really quick to judge him. But if you look at the other receivers from last year, John Ross, Mike Williams, I thought Mike Williams was going to be a lot better.
I did too.
I thought he was going to be better than Corey Davis.
He was great in the national championship.
He was insane in the national championship, and that won me over.
Yeah.
But I think people were quick to be like, Corey Davis bust, whatever. I don't even think that talk is. That just comes from the Facebook groups. That comes from the low level.
Yeah.
I think Corey's going to be.
It's probably Russian bots trying to piss us off.
I think Corey's going to be the real game changer for us.
Have we ever had a receiver like that before?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Even Randy Moss.
I mean, yeah, Randy Moss. We had
for 1 minute.
Not one that can do what he can.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm an MTSU guy. I would say Calico, but he got his career cut short. But I don't think that we have ever had anybody like that. Even though he hasn't done a lot on the field for us, I just don't. I can't remember one. Randy Moss, though, yeah. I mean, he was good.
We got him in the late part of his years. So back to have we ever had a receiver like that? Have we ever had a roster with this much talent on it before? I know, of course, we had once. Eddie George, Steve McNair. That time. Have we ever had a roster this talented with? There's so many names on the team now that. While they don't look as big across the national scale because of our coaching, because of our season last year, as a Titans fan, I can see that there's some of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think that this is the most talent we've ever had. Mm-hmm. I think the year after we went to the Super Bowl, and that stretch, those 2 years, I think we did have the most talent that the team's ever seen because there was Javon Curse, and they went and got Kevin Carter, and they had it was stacked across the board. And everybody was McNair and Eddie George and Wycheck and Curse and all those guys are borderline. Those are guys who are like, which Titans player could make the Hall of Fame? Mm-hmm. They're close. They're not ever going to get in, I don't think, but they are close. But I think this year's crop of talent is enough to garner expectations, and I do think it's probably top 5, top 3 or 4 best, most talented teams we've ever had.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And as far as of course, talent is one thing, coaching is another. What do you think about Vrabel? I'm sure that people have been asking this for months now, but what is your opinion? I'd love to know. Do you think he is going to be our guy?
Yeah, I think Vrabel. I know he wasn't I don't think he was our first choice. I don't think we would have hired Mike Vrabel, a year ago, if we had to make that move. But I like to see John Robinson, his system of how he expects his coaches to act, the type of personalities he wants, and you see Vrabel and Robinson with bags out there with prospects, and they're letting them run into him, and and he's getting a busted lip out there, and I've bought into the Robinson system, and so whatever he endorses, I think the fan base generally feels like that's the right choice, and I love Vrabel's personality. He seems like a total football guy. I mean, those guys are probably the 2 biggest football guys in the NFL. But yeah, complete faith in Vrabel, and I love the assistants we hired. Dean Pease, legendary defensive coordinator that has screwed us as Titans fans several times.
Yes,
several times. And Matt LaFleur, the wonderkin that got RG3, he was on that staff that got him a Rookie of the Year. Matt Ryan, his comeback year where he did well, and then Jared Goff last year. And you can't. I mean, imagine what he could do with a talented quarterback like Marcus instead of those trash quarterbacks.
I mean, Jared Goff was night and day with Matt LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good point. I can't imagine what he can do with somebody who has like superstar talent.
Well,
like
a running
Marcus
quarterback. Robert Griffin was a good running quarterback that year.
Right.
They had a great scheme, and I know that LaFleur was not the offensive coordinator in those years, but I think that with Marcus, he's going to be able to be as creative as possible. And he's so young, but I'm worried that if he does well, he's going to leave and go be a head coach.
Oh man,
that's my biggest concern with that hire. But outside of that, I got nothing bad to say.
Maybe he'll like it and he'll do like the Patriots do, Josh McDaniels, and just stick around.
Yep.
So stick around and wait for a head coaching position, which I think is what Josh Daniels is doing. I think that makes sense.
One that's not in Indianapolis.
One that's not. Yeah, I don't even know why you'd want to be in that city.
You wouldn't. He did
it's
not.
Not even a fun city.
He probably flew in there and was like, nope.
Is it too late to jump out of this offer? Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back and talk some more full NFL stuff. So we'll be right back.
If you'd like to be a sponsor for Cheers Podcast or see your advertisement here, please contact us at thecheerspodcast@gmail.com or find us on social media at thecheerspod on Instagram.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around today. We're drinking some Coors Light, just a typical tailgate-style beer for me and Mr. Matt Neely. Again, it's 10 a.m., so trying to hang in there.
These are going down not very smooth.
Yeah. So what we want to jump back into after the commercial break is I want Matt to talk a little bit about kind of how you got into social media in general, all these different things.
Well, I mean, it's like total by chance event. I think 6 or 7 years ago, I just got back from like the lake. I was sunburned as hell, and my hair. I just got out of the shower. My hair was like crazy ugly, right?
Yeah.
And I came out, and my friend Sydney came over to sit on the couch. My dog he's a Whippet and a Husky. Okay. So all of the worst traits from those two breeds of dogs.
Whippet.
And when she comes, she's got a really loud voice, and she said, "Hi, his name is Zebo." By the way, after Zach Randolph from the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay.
And he started laughing like a person, and I filmed it on Vine. And that, to this day, that Vine has millions and millions of views, right?
It's a video of a dog laughing like a human?
I mean, monetizing it, everything.
Wow.
My dog brings in some money.
Still?
And it's still.
Wow.
And it's amazing how that happened. Like, it was total chance.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty good Vine. Kendall Jenner shared it. That was huge.
What?
I DM'd her, and I was like, hey, I noticed you like my Vine. You might like me, too.
Solid.
Sup. And she did not sup me back. But
she didn't sup you back at all? Did she read it? Did you see if she read?
I don't think she read that.
You should try again. Yeah.
Okay, good call.
Yeah,
after this, I will.
Yeah.
So I had the Vine went nuts, and I had an account with like 50,000 followers just for my dog, and I got wind of an internship at a daily fantasy basketball startup.
Yeah.
So I just applied and got it, and just kind of worked my ass off, man, and made live highlights every night, working every single day, like. Morning time, having to do recaps on the site, and we were able to get so much traction at FanJam before it died. Obviously, I'm not working there now, but we were able to do so many great things that it kind of propelled a career in social media. So, I went and became a marketing director for a company called Pricewaiter, and so now I'm kind of a free agent. I'm in between what that was. I mean, I did it for 2 years, and just I think what I'm about to do is just get back into sports, and I just get that itch constantly, and so that's how I know that's what I think I should be doing. But it's been like a lot of honestly, social media is a lot of work. You got to be a different schedule than everybody. You got to do weird stuff like walk around Nashville with a camera, and everyone looks at you like you're a moron because you are. It's like it's been a pretty crazy journey since my major in college was like in nonsense, basically. I just wanted to get out of college. I hated it. So
okay.
It's been a cool, I guess, like journey. I don't think it was really a journey, but whatever this is,
like,
it's been kind of
still
cool.
Journeying. Yeah, I think that's really cool. And you just mentioned walking around in Nashville with like a camera and a mic or whatever. Didn't you do something like that at the Jersey event this past week?
Yeah, I contacted the guys from Titans Tube on YouTube. They've got a really good Titans channel, and we just wanted to go around and shoot some content, and walked around in downtown interviewing a lot of drunk people.
What'd you ask them?
We just Titans trivia. You want me to do one on you?
Yeah, let's see if I got it.
Okay.
Let me drink a few more.
Okay,
Please.
grab a sip.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is one we did on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the first ever draft pick by the Tennessee Titans? Not the Oilers.
By the Tennessee Titans, Javon Curse.
Boom. That's it. You did it.
Oh. Do I win anything?
No, you win nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Another interesting bit of trivia: the first pick ever taken by the Carolina Panthers was Kerry Collins.
I was a Panthers fan before the Titans got here.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Kerry.
Yeah. No, I can't believe I got that right. That's really cool.
No, Kerry Collins was good, man. He was good for the Panthers.
Yeah. What about Javon Curse? What did he go? What pick did we get?
I think he was like the 13th or 14th pick.
Oh, so we didn't get like a great pick, but that's not too bad.
He was somewhere. That's
a good pick, though.
Good pick.
That was a really good pick. Shout out to Bud Adams, probably the coolest owner ever, flipping off Bills fans. And
no, we got the coolest owner ever right now.
yes, okay. Other than Amy Adams Shunk, who is so nice. One time I actually met her and talked to her about skydiving. That time she went skydiving, and she was so nice. Like
she's such a genuine person.
It's crazy because like I ran into her at the Titans draft event last year, and she had like security guards with her, and I asked her about it, and she like stopped what she was doing. People were around like wanting autographs. She like disconnected herself from what was going on, had like a 5-minute conversation with me, and I was like, I can't even believe like you're taking the time to talk. I'm just like a guy, but she is genuine. That's a great way to put that.
Is she just if you don't mind, I'd love to talk about Amy Strunk for a little bit.
If you know some stuff about Amy Strunk, I would love to hear more.
So she lets me call her mom.
Really?
I've met Amy 3 times now.
Okay.
And,
Does she like your jersey?
And she didn't really notice, which is probably
nice.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't notice that. If you're watching, Mom, sorry. But no, every time you see her, she'll make time for a video or just she'll talk to you. Mm-hmm. And we'd never had like anybody like, but after Bud Adams died or after he stepped down or however that transpired.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anybody like her that's a face and that's anything close to an owner, what an owner should be. And she has gone above and beyond.
Yeah.
At Kansas City, it was like 12 degrees in that parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And she was out there for an hour and a half talking to every single person. And I think like things like that it makes me love the team. Like it makes you get more involved with the team. Like since she got here, I personally feel like I'm more attached to the team. And I love Team Mom. Anything we can do for Amy, we will. I mean, she's the woman. She's the best.
Are there any other female owners in the NFL?
Nope.
See, I kind of like that because I feel like female leaders, they have this like very mom trait that is very welcoming and is very loving, and I feel like that's super important in like a leader, especially in a big organization. So I agree with you. Like Amy Adams Strunk is very much like a mom figure and is so easy to support and like just be excited for. And she's also like out there a lot. She's very vocal. When she was on the stage,
she threw that event for us.
Yeah, she threw that event
huge
for us.
Party.
Yeah. That's a good point. She did throw that for us.
And
that
she
was
was
her.
pissed
Thanks,
about
Mom.
the uniform. Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Was she pissed about the uniform league?
She was furious.
See, I didn't hear anything that she said.
That is what I heard from my friend Nate. He's the Titans social media director, and he said she was furious, and I would have been too. She tried to keep this a secret. They had secret meetings in Texas and all over the place. And she was apparently furious.
She had.
I would have been too.
She had, I think, Kevin Byard and those guys signed non-disclosures when she showed them.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what I heard.
Well,
I think.
Honestly, though, when the leak came out, it was crazy to see how many people were like publicly saying, "I will not leak the photo that I just got," and everyone was like, "I won't do it. I respect Amy Strunk," and I was like, "You can't get that at any other fan base. That is the one fan base that would try to respect her." And honestly, everyone that shared the photo, you suck.
Yeah, I didn't retweet it. I favorited the photo, but I did not.
That's okay.
I did not retweet it. Uh-oh. I did not retweet the photo. I did see it. What was it? What was the company who first leaked the...
Sports Seasons.
Sports Seasons.
They denied it, but I know that Sports Seasons, that's the perfect place to leak a jersey.
You could literally like see all the boxes. It was like distribution. Some like teenager like popped open that box and snapped the shot. And I knew it was real the second I saw it. I was like, nobody took the time to hit all those details and do the red check marks
and now they don't have a job.
For sure.
No job at all.
No more... work at Sports Seasons. Never gonna work at Sports Seasons again. Yeah, that was a bummer, but at the same time, and I hold true to this. I think the leak was almost good for the jerseys because people were talking about it like crazy for like 2 days before the actual event, and it was like the talk of all my friend groups that are into football. And then the second one came out, and it was even more like, oh no, here's another one. So the leak didn't seem like the worst thing ever.
I mean it wasn't what she wanted.
Yeah, it's not what you want, but at the same time, it's like there's no such thing as bad publicity. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So I got a whole extra day of traction.
I haven't seen this fan base be that crazy over something ever. I mean, there's like a uniform account. It's actually a good follow. I think it's like Titans Uniwatch. It's a really good Twitter follow.
Titans Uniwatch.
But they
just all pictures of Kevin Byard and wearing jerseys.
Yeah, it's just I mean, the amount of people that were trying to find leaks, and I know the person that did get the leak. I know that they tried their ass off to get that, and so it just people are insane over uniforms. But we haven't had a change in 20 years, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we're wearing old school uniforms now. Man.
Yeah, I mean they're a little modified with the light blue.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it stayed the same for 20 years, and finally a change like that, and the ability to throw probably the biggest party they have thrown. I've ever seen them throw, thanks to the terrible band out there, Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah. Is that the name, Florida Georgia Line?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did not stay for the concert. I don't think that you did either. Nothing against Florida Georgia Line. Personally, I'm not a big fan.
Personally, I have something against Florida Georgia Line.
I think Amy Adams Strunk was smart by getting them. That's a very Nashville band. It brought out a lot of people. So nothing against people who picked the show. I think it'd been cool if we got like 2 Chainz. I don't know.
That would have been amazing. I would have got there early.
How many people would have showed up for that one? More or less?
Less. I think less. I mean, it was a good pick.
It'd be a lot cooler if the house was the 2 Chainz house instead of the Florida Georgia Line house.
Yeah, I would have actually enjoyed it instead of having to pay $35 for a cheeseburger.
Is that how much a cheeseburger was at the Florida Georgia Line house?
I think so. I remember looking at the menu and being like, well, I should not be here.
$30 for a cheeseburger. Well, that sounds super Florida Georgia Line-esque. What do you have against them personally?
I just hate their music. I really do. And the big hats. I can't stand the giant hats. If you wear one of those huge bucket like hats that
full brimmed hat, like a top hat,
I can't deal with that.
Yeah,
I see that. I'm like, who are you trying to be today?
What if they got smaller hats? Would it make you
smaller hats would be cool?
Smaller hats.
I just have never really liked them, and I feel like people force me to listen to them frequently. And I'm just not a big fan of country to begin with, except for Chris Stapleton. He's really good.
Yeah, no, Chris Stapleton's the realest. I think everybody in Nashville, if you don't like Chris Stapleton, there's definitely something wrong with you. He's a very easy guy to like. I think your next jersey should say 69 Stapleton.
It will not say Stapleton.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty hilarious. He might think it's funny too. So, let's see here. Where was I getting to? Why did the Florida Georgia Line guys wear 4 and 24 on their jerseys? Was there any significance about that? Florida Georgia Line, they wore the new Titans jerseys on stage.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you. Maybe that's just. I don't even have a joke. I just don't know why they did that. I didn't see it. Like I said, I left, and honestly, 2 of my friends had their fingers in their ears when we were walking out.
Really?
We were that much against them.
That's super dramatic, but I get it.
It's very dramatic. I think it was for the lulz.
For the lulz. The event was really secure though. Did you notice that?
It was
not. On the side.
It was
it
not
not?
secure. No.
Where I came in, it was like super secure.
We snuck in.
You snuck in
through the side.
You hear that, Amy?
I was like, I had a backpack.
You had a backpack?
I had a backpack, and we had a freaking camera crew, and we walked right through the side, by Hard Rock. Yeah, I was actually.
What time did you get there?
Right when it started. I mean, we were at Paradise Park all day, but we got there right when it was kicking off.
Oh, speaking of this, because I know we wanted to talk about this, Paradise Park. Mitch. Let's hear about this Mitch guy. Just give the people who are listening a run through of who Mitch is and what he does.
So Mitch is by far the #1 Titans fan
ever,
and he's crazy.
Bigger than the pineapple guy.
Yes, pineapple guy. He couldn't even sniff Mitch's shorts. Okay. No, Mitch. I mean, he's a crazy as hell. He's a diehard. Just loves the Titans. He's got 34 Titans tattoos.
34?
Yep, 34. And I came across Mitch on SportsCenter one night with when he guaranteed the 2017 AFC South Championship. That
whoops.
Right, and Mitch he's been coming on our podcast all the time, and I just saw him, and I just like that's got to be an interesting person.
Yeah, 100%.
And he is very much an interesting person. He won the Hall of Fans contest last year. You could see him up in the upper deck, like shirtless, and he was shirtless in that Jags game, which was 6 degrees.
How did that not kill him?
You can't kill what is already so dead. No, Mitch, man, he's so wild, man, and I love him to death. It's a weird friendship that came out of nowhere, but we took him down yesterday before the uniform reveal, and our buddies at Hang 10, we partnered with them, and they make some pretty cool shirts, like the Scoresburg, if you're a Preds fan, or the Marigoda shirt, and Mitch tattooed Marigoda on his arm, and then Hang 10 paid for it, and he guaranteed Marcus would win the MVP next year.
Oh man, that is a pretty. What are the odds on that? Do we know the odds on Marcus Mariota being the?
Honestly, no one knows the odds on that because it's probably not going to happen. but it is. when you open up Sports Illustrated and you see Mitch on the front page, like it took us a day, and Mitch has probably been on every single sports site for that tattoo. And that's
the new one.
Yeah, and Marcus Mariota came out and said he loved the tattoo.
Did
he? Video yesterday. So we met up with the people from. Thanks to Nate, we hooked up with the people from NFL and the Checkdown, and they got a video of Mitch's tat and got Mitch to say a little something. I didn't even think much about it at the time. And Marcus, for him to come out and be like, I love the tattoo. Can't wait to see you again, Mitch. Like, I called him yesterday, and I mean, he's so happy. Like, that's cool to me. Like, whatever we did, whatever the hell, like, all of that is, it made his fucking life. Can I say?
Yeah. Okay. No, this is a PG-13 podcast. Okay. I don't like to cuss on it.
It's the only one I'll do.
It's not a family podcast, but it, you know.
Gotcha.
So that's okay. We're not
we can always edit.
We're not
out.
a conglomerate.
Okay.
Yeah, we might.
Not yet.
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
No, it made his. I mean, it made his world. And like, does he deserve it? I don't know, but he got it, and it's awesome.
Does he deserve it? I don't know. How long has he had PSLs?
He's had them for 1 year. I think he was one and done.
Okay, they should definitely do like a crowd fund every year and get that guy PSLs.
I think we're gonna do it.
I think that would be really cool.
So we got him a jersey.
Yeah.
Nate hooked him up with a jersey. And
whose jersey?
I think he wanted DeMarcus.
A new one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous. That's awesome.
And I think they're gonna hook him back up with that Hall of Fans because his family's gonna apply to win that. Everyone should apply to win that. I won it last year. Everybody.
What is it?
You just show a photo of you being a Titans fan, and they give you 4 seats to every game and a giant banner.
What? 4 seats to every game?
Every game.
Like upper
deck,
seats?
Upper deck in the Mitch Firkins section. People were showing up last year after Mitch got kicked out of a game.
What did he get kicked out of a game for?
Long story.
We got time.
He got in a beer bath competition with a Bengals fan, and
you can't win those. Bengals fans have no self-respect.
He won it, and then they went and told on him.
Oh my God!
So people showed up next week with T-shirts that said "Free Mitch," number 69 in the back.
That's so funny. Free Mitch. I want one of those shirts.
I've got the video, man. I will tell you this: he dominated that girl.
He won a beer bath competition.
He seriously just doused every halftime. I brought him a beer at halftime. He would douse himself with it.
It was against a girl?
Yeah.
Whoa, Bengals fans are gnarly. Gosh, why were they here? Why are Bengals fans traveling to other games? That's embarrassing.
I don't know. It's probably because they hate being in Cincinnati so much.
That city's not bad. The Reds, Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
They're all right. And then they have Kings Island up there too. So I'm not gonna bash Cincinnati, but geez, like, just draft somebody exciting.
Please,
just give us something to watch. You're in the same state as the Browns. It's not hard to impress anyone.
Barry Larkin's the last guy I've ever loved for the Reds.
Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah.
Is he still playing?
Yeah, of course. Pac-Man's a good guy, dude. I'm a West Virginia fan, so I love Pac-Man Jones.
Well, hold on. Did you just say Pac-Man's a good guy?
He's a great guy.
Okay.
I spin zone things. I like to produce propaganda for the Titans and for West Virginia.
That's definitely propaganda. If anybody hears this.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Pac-Man Jones, good guy. Had an amazing birthday party back when he was a Titan where 2 people got murdered.
Well, dang, same thing happened with Chris Johnson. Didn't him and like his friends get shot in a car?
Yeah.
That's terrible. Do you think we should sign him to a 1-day contract?
Yeah.
Let him retire with us?
I actually think that his spot in the Titans like history is kind of like overshadowed.
Yeah, it's very significant. I remember watching him when I was younger. I mean, I'm not like young now, but I was pretty young when he was doing that, and it was just crazy to watch him play that Texans game where
I'm sorry. I think his spot's in the Ring of Honor next to Wycheck, McNair, all of them. I mean, he's another guy that's close to the Hall of Fame. I mean,
super good.
He phantom hold against the Seahawks. I don't know if you remember this, but week 17, he needed like 240 yards to get the record.
Easy.
The all-time record. And he busts like soon as like first quarter or whatever, he busts like a 100-yard run, like 99 yards. And there's a phantom hold. No one holding, they call it back. And I think if he got that, I think he'd be right now the all-time leading rusher in the season. I really do. Part of me kind of feels like Chris Johnson's the forgotten superstar of this team for the entire history.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because we paid him and then he disappointed and it made the whole base pretty mad?
Yeah, I think that's exactly why. But Chris Johnson got paid for what he had already done. And I know we weren't that great. There was one season we were 13-3 and won the AFC. Yep. And the moment he left that game, the damn Ravens. Yep. The moment he left that game, it was over. And even though Ray Lewis, the murderer, broke his ankle, it just, I think that Chris Johnson gets kind of doesn't get enough credit really does deserve a lot more.
If he came back to the Titans, I would support him because I was always a Chris Johnson fan. I mean, Derrick Henry's been doing his dance when he scores a touchdown.
That was awesome. Was that not incredible when he did that?
When he did that, I was back home with my family. I watched my playoff games with my family, and I saw him do that. And I was like, hey, that's Chris Johnson's dance, I think. And then like the next day, it was like, hey, Derrick Henry gave a tribute to Chris Johnson. I was like, I knew it. I recognized that dance.
Amazing! It just was so.
That was so much respect. Like I
it's
appreciate
cool, man.
it.
It's cool to see players do things like that.
Especially because you made the good point. Like he is kind of overshadowed. Like people don't talk about Chris Johnson enough, and that was like, hey, shout out to probably one of the realer running backs we ever had, other than Eddie George.
Right. They say who's the best Titan ever, and it's always McNair, Eddie George. You know, and he gets kind of forgotten. And I really do think he's probably one of the most talented players we've ever had. And
right up there with Jake Locker and Pac-Man Jones and Al Del Greco.
Hey, I love Al. He's a friend of the show.
Rob Ronis. Wait, is he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's my first interview.
No way.
Yeah, I actually
like Al Del Greco.
I love Al Del Greco. I didn't like so. If I can just go on about this story,
Let's hear it.
Del Greco against the Ravens. First of all, he did miss a big kick in the Super Bowl, and he redeemed himself with a pretty nice like 47-yard or whatever. And I really have always wanted to know, like, because Al Del Greco is the closest thing we've had to the kicker from the Ace Ventura movies that tried to kill Dan Marino, Ray Finkel. Del Greco missed like 4 kicks in the game against the Ravens, or he just excruciatingly bad. And he was such a good kicker for us. And I just wanted to know what it was like to miss like basically lose the game. And after being such a fan favorite, like I still see Del Greco jerseys, but I wanted to know why or what it was like after he missed that kick and he got released that offseason. And honestly, you can still tell it messes with him, and it hurt him a lot. And he gave me an honest answer. He told me that Jeff Fisher screwed him over.
Did he give you details?
Yeah, he said that they told him they were going to bring him back. They were going to bring people in to see if they could find someone that could do kickoffs. And then the next day they released him. And his agent told him that they had a contract for him on Jeff Fisher's desk. And so Jeff Fisher lied to Al Del Greco, and I don't think he's over that. And I don't think I would be either.
That's rough, yeah, because, I mean, that's your livelihood. That's not only your livelihood, but your career, your life, everything you work towards. So football is a big deal to these guys. So I bet that was super disappointing to have to go through something like that. But that's cool that you've talked to Al Del Greco. So we're, moving closer to the end of the podcast. So let's talk about, a few more things, and anything you want to talk about, feel free to go for it. But who do you think is your all-time favorite Titan, and then who is your all-time favorite NFL player, and is it the same person?
Yeah, it's Steve McNair.
Steve McNair all-time.
Yeah, and he was the GOAT. Playing through every injury possible. You knew he was going to play every week. And you hear like stories about, on the road against Pittsburgh, and Neil O'Donnell's playing, and Steve McNair had a broken sternum. He was about to retire. Jeff Fisher said he just looked at him and said, I can't do this anymore. Jeff Fisher and Eddie George came and like talked to him, and then Steve McNair comes out and he's not going to play because he's got basically he can't breathe. He can't even get up, and Neil O'Donnell gets a concussion, knocked out of the game. So with 5 minutes, I think 5 minutes left, Steve McNair comes in with no ribs at all and leads a game-winning drive. Like that to me is the moment. That is Steve McNair. And when all that happened with his murder, it was devastating. Like I was emotional. I am a Titans fan, so like it hurt me because I'd met him just a few months before that at my high school. Right before he ended up in the Ravens, which I'd like to forget that.
Yeah, that happened to a lot of our Titans.
But yeah, they don't make players like Steve McNair, and he's a once in a lifetime guy. He was everything you wanted, and he was the franchise. So there's no doubt he's my favorite all time, and I think Marcus though is kind of getting up there for a lot of people. I think they like him.
He's very easy to like, and I think that it's great that we did get him because he is much like, and I'm going to compare him to Steve McNair. He is a pretty tough guy. People bash him for getting hurt a lot, but he does play through injuries. I swear I've seen him get a concussion on the field and come back in.
Absolutely. Aqib Talib. hit him right in the head, and he got
Do
right
you-
up.
Do you remember the game when we were playing against, it might have been a Steelers game or something, somebody tackled him from behind, and they got his right arm, which was his ball-carrying arm, and he landed on his head, and I swear I saw him throwing up on the sideline.
He probably was.
And so that's a sign of a concussion, and he played the rest of the game. He did not play very well, and it was actually the week before the Steelers game. And I don't know if I'm the only one who thought this, but I thought he played pretty bad at the Steelers game because it was a Thursday night.
He did.
He had 3 days. He did play bad. He threw an obvious interception that he usually doesn't throw.
Right.
And I think that he was rattled from that hit.
One of those was Corey Davis's fault. I was at the game.
Oh, the bad run,
and
the route.
Yeah, it was a terrible game. That was the word. Like driving 8 hours to go watch them get slaughtered. Miserable.
I bet that was not fun.
Steelers fans are annoying.
Were they mean to you about your 69
They
jersey?
were mean. They were mean.
I'm sorry.
They were hateful. Is
They
what
were
I would
hateful?
say. Yeah.
Dang, Steelers fans.
They were looking for fights the entire game. And we were just sitting there like dead silent. I mean, you can't do anything when your team's down 40-14.
Jeez, yeah, that was not good. I probably would have left early, but kudos to you if you stayed the whole time.
No.
No.
It was like 20 degrees. I was like,
No, why do people even live there? But let alone have a
Beyond me.
football team. But yeah, I think Marcus Mariota is a cornerstone, and I think that, kids that are watching Marcus Mariota now will be talking about Marcus Mariota how we talk about Steve McNair
Yep.
when they're our age. I think that
agree with that.
he will change the vibe of Tennessee maybe forever. So we're super fortunate to have him. So here at the close of the podcast, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about anything that you want to talk about, any shout outs, mentions, or anything that you have going on. And please, of course, include your Instagram handles, different things like that, so viewers can follow you.
well, I guess a shout out to RPO Pod, Run Past Opinion, just a Titans and podcast and blog, and it's without a doubt the number one most listened to Titans podcast, and even maybe not now since Jim Wyatt and the team have their official win, but
OTP.
yeah, it's actually really good.
I haven't listened to it yet. I plan on it.
Yeah. So you can find me at RPO Pod on everything, and you can find my personal account at Matt Neely _ like we talked about yesterday. I'm not cool enough to get
He's
the
not
real
the Matt Neely.
And just shout out to Hang 10 for hooking up Mitch with that tattoo. I mean, it's going viral. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. But yeah, I don't really have any other shout outs. Just if you like the Titans, you can listen to me. If not, whatever.
Yeah, listen to this guy. He has great content. Be sure to follow all of his podcasts. I listen to RPO. You should listen to RPO as well. There's a lot of good Titans podcasts out there, but this is one of my favorites, so check it out. Check out Matt's stuff. Matt, I appreciate you coming on. I know that you're from out of town, and so you came in for this, so I really appreciate it. So cheers, man. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers. 5.
5, yes. Did you watch the episodes? Is that why you high-fived?
What am I supposed to?
No, dude, I high-five at the end of every single
Yeah,
episode.
that's what I thought.
Are you serious?
I told you I watched it. You think I'm lying?
Well, I didn't know if you watched to the very end. It's like the last thing, like we close on a high five.
I wanted to make sure. Like I saw.
That's hilarious.
If you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram at Cheers Podcast. Be sure to comment what you'd like to hear from us in future episodes. Thanks for listening.